Hi Julian, thank you for coming in today. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good? Okay. Before we begin, I just have to let you know about confidentiality protocols and things like that. So everything you say is confidential with me until something becomes an issue. So if you're going to harm yourself, if you're going to harm others, and we have something called a duty to warn. So if I feel that you're a danger to others, I have the duty to warn them or warn someone else who can take the proper steps for that. And yeah, but anything else you say to me will stay confidential unless you have other desires. Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
I just graduated high school, and I did a little bit of college, but I couldn't follow through with it, so I dropped out.
Why couldn't you follow through?
It was just a lot to have to go there every day with all those people around, and it was just really difficult to be around everybody.
Okay, so the crowds and the interaction. Okay.
Yeah.
So how was high school for you?
It was okay. I only had one friend, and he would always just come to my house and we would just hang out at my house.
Okay.
But,
And how long had he been your friend?
for a really long time.
Okay.
Since we were young. So
Okay.
yeah.
Were you involved in any activities, sports?
No.
No? Okay. What did you like to do in your free time in high school and now?
I really just enjoy just like staying home. I really enjoy animals, so like I do dog sitting,
Okay.
and that's just very peaceful for me. And then just like reading a book and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just stuff that's very calming, I guess,
Mhm.
for me is what I like to do.
Okay. And what is your family relationship like?
So I live with my dad. My parents got divorced when I was 4. And I lived with my mom for a little bit, but she was like emotionally abusive, and then so my dad went to court, and we figured everything out, and then I just lived with him forever, I guess. He got sole custody, so it's always just been me and my dad.
Okay. And tell me a little bit more about the divorce itself between your parents. What was that like?
I was like really young, so I don't remember a lot of it, but I know it just didn't end on very good terms. They don't talk at all. There's no communication there whatsoever.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen her since I was 4, so.
Okay. And do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have 2 brothers and a sister,
Okay.
and they're all older, and so they've all kind of moved on with their lives, and they like live other places and stuff.
Okay. And how's your relationship with them?
Very good. It's a very loving relationship, I guess, because we all kind of went through the same thing with each other, so it kind of made our bond very strong. And yeah, they're kind of like my best friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said in college you felt overwhelmed by the number of people. Did you feel that way in high school as well?
Yeah, so I actually, it would get categorized a lot with like behavioral problems,
Okay.
and so I would go home a lot because like I just couldn't deal with it, and I guess like the teachers didn't really know how to handle the situations, so I just went home a lot, and it was like categorized as a lot of behavioral problems.
Okay. Tell me a little more. You said there were situations that were categorized as behavioral problems. So what were those situations like?
Just like just being put on the spot by like teachers. Like they would be like, Jillian, what's the answer? And I would freeze up, and I really wouldn't know, and they would think that it was because of like a lack of knowledge or like not doing the homework or stuff like that, when really it was just like I really just got really clammy and like just couldn't physically like speak and talk about it at all. So
okay, so it sounds like having attention on you has been an issue. Okay, and did you think, how was it when it got to college compared to high school? Was it worse, better?
it was better. just because it was such larger classrooms that I didn't get called on as much, but because it was larger, there was a lot more people, and so these like think, pair, share type of things, I was not very good at, and yeah, so I just really struggled with that, and I just didn't really like it very much.
Okay. And so does this, like, do you feel like this gets in the way of carrying out like normal daily responsibilities?
Yeah, it does. So like, usually I'll wake up in the morning when my dad goes to work, and then I've had the same job for like years, and I just go to this lady's house and just dog sit. And so that's kind of like what I do permanently now. So I go to her house and I babysit her dogs basically, which is really nice, and then my dad comes to pick me up, and then we go back to the house, and then I just do the same thing the next day.
Okay. So when you're around the dogs, how do you feel that they calm you, or is it just because they're not people? A little bit of both.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both. I think because they can't really talk or like put me on the spot and like ask me questions like that, it's very relaxing because I don't have to worry about like what they're thinking of me and what are they gonna say, and like trying to like come up with really good like answers. And so because they are dogs, I can just kind of like hang out with them, and they're just very relaxing, and I can just like pet them, and it's just a nice relief, I guess.
So it sounds like the talking is where the bigger issue is, rather than just like specifically being or in those crowds. It's the interaction, the verbal interaction. Okay. And have you always felt this way? Do you remember feeling like that about talking with other people in elementary school when you were younger?
Yeah, I don't really remember being that way when I was younger. I just remember like one distinct time where it was in middle school, and I had a presentation to do, and I knew the presentation. I was so excited to give the presentation, and then it just kind of went downhill from there, I guess, and I went up there and I just like completely freaked out, and I just had to leave, and ever since then it's just kind of been like that way, I guess, the whole time.
Okay. And so are there certain like specific situations or circumstances you can think of that triggers these feelings more than others? Like more so than what you've shared already.
I think like, especially talking with people I don't know, so like this is very difficult for me because like I don't know you, and I'm trying to I guess like manage all of my emotions so that I can have this conversation with you, because I know it's like necessary. So I guess like things like this, and just like people I don't know, it's very difficult to get that conversation going.
So do you have, like when you're talking to your dad, who you said you're close with, you don't have any of these feelings?
No.
Okay. Do you have any problems with sleeping at all, or concentration?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me a little more about that.
So I like told you my schedule, and so like this schedule, it's like very set. However, I do go to bed like really early because of these sleeping problems. So like I try to be in bed by like 10, because I know it'll take me like an hour, maybe an hour and a half to just kind of like process, I guess, the day, even though I really didn't do much. And I just like toss and turn, can't really go to sleep, and then I just wake up, and then I just kind of repeat everything again.
Okay. And is there any family history of problems like this in your family, or like with mental disorders?
Not that I really know of exactly. I just know that like I don't really know a whole lot about my mom, but I know she wasn't, I guess, the nicest person. So like maybe she had something that nobody really knew about it, and she didn't really address it, and so like she kind of like pushed it on to like us as the children.
And you said your mom was emotionally abusive?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little more about that?
just kind of like to all of us, the siblings and stuff like that. But really like, because my siblings are older, a lot of it came to me because I couldn't really defend myself a lot. So like just things like, I don't know, I would like try to talk to her and she would just like block me out emotionally. Like I didn't really ever receive much of that like caregiving and like motherly love and stuff.
Okay. And, it's done? Yeah, that's good.